Flosstube, I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd, and this is Flosstube number 21. If you are a returning viewer and a person who comments on my videos, thanks. I love that. I have not been super fantastic about commenting back, and I apologize. It has been, oh my goodness, since the last video, it has been a little bit crazy. So yeah. We'll get into that in life updates. And if you're trying me out for the first time, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Also, I want to remember to say this every time. I'm keeping a glossary of cross-stitching / Flosstube acronyms and terms and stuff in the description box. If I say something and you don't know quite what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments and I'll update the glossary. I know that I'm not fantastic about remembering to say what I mean as I'm talking about it because my brain is always going like 5 steps ahead. When I finish a video, I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't think I was super clear about what I was talking about there. But by then it's too late. I don't do editing. It's on my need to learn list for 2021, but I'm not there yet. Shoot, what else was I saying? What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about cross stitch because that's what this channel is about. It's about the love of my hobby, cross stitch, and some life updates. We're going to get a little life updatey today, and sometimes I talk about the things I've purchased, and then sometimes I talk about knitting, but not lately because knitting is not my hobby of choice. It's just something I'm learning to do, and I'm at a point where I have to actually watch some tutorial videos, and I don't want to stop watching Flosstubes long enough to watch knitting tutorials. Choices. It's choices we make. All right, before I get into stitching, and I've got quite a bit to show, I just wanted to give a quick magic update. If you are at all squeamish about surgeries or yucky things, skip a couple of minutes ahead because I just want to give you an update. He did really well. I wanted to thank everybody who sent positive thoughts and well wishes his way. Really appreciate it. It went well. We're almost 2 weeks. Tomorrow it will be 2 weeks, and he's wearing the cone. And so basically what they had to do is they had to cut away, the tumor was right here on his face. So they had to cut it away, and so he lost all this lower lip. So eating has been a little tricky, and it has been, the first week it was really hard. The vet suggested that we feed him wet food, that it might be gentler on the whole area. So we fed him wet food for a week. It was a mistake. There's no way you could keep the wet food out of that incision. After every meal, I would be spending 30 minutes with warm compresses and trying to get all the food out. And it got a little inflamed. It got a little unhappy. So we switched over to dry food. He's been on dry food almost a week. And I think he'd prefer to be on the wet food, but it is what it is. And he's able to eat it, and it's much easier to keep clean, and it's healing up nicely now. So I'm hoping, I say this, but I have to tell you, I don't know what a cat's mouth is supposed to look like. And I am not a nurse or a nurturer. I tell my parents all the time, like, it's a good thing you have 5 daughters because this one is not a nurturer. I will not be caring for you, and I'll come and visit and love you, but I'm not, it's a wonder my kids have made it into adulthood. It's just not something that comes naturally to me. So anyway, I'm hoping, to me, it looks like it's healing up good. And I send pictures to the vet every day, and she hasn't told me otherwise. So I'm hoping when I go to see her tomorrow night that we will hear some good news, and maybe the cone can come off. We have cat doors on our bedroom doors because we live a gated life because the dogs and the cats don't mix. And so we have cat doors on our bedroom doors, and he can't get in and out of the cat door. So I'm having to sleep with my bedroom door open. He's the kind of cat that needs to sleep with his head on your head. And normally that has not been my problem because he sleeps with my son, but my son doesn't sleep with his door open. So he's been sleeping with us, and he places that whole plastic cone right on your face while you're sleeping. It has not been a lot of fun. And almost done. Good news, the lab results came back for, you know, they send the tumor out, and it looks like it was cancer, obviously, and it was, I think it was like a malignant squamous cell carcinoma. I don't know what that means. What I do know is that it looks like we got all the margins, which means we got enough of the tissue around the tumor that hopefully we got it all. It looks like we did. And fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed we've bought him a few more years. Yeah, that's all I have to say about magic. I will let you know next week. I'm going to try to get on a weekly filming schedule. It's my March goals. I'll let you know next week what the vet says tomorrow night. Okay, it's almost 6 minutes in, and we've talked a lot about magic. All right, what have I been doing with my stitching? If you've been watching me, you know that I have been stitching Mommy's temperature tree. I like to do a temperature chart, so I stitch the high temp of every day, and I'm using the varied temperature key, and I'm in Rhode Island. So if you're trying to figure out where my temps are, again, nothing has been ironed. I apologize. I'm a heathen. This is being stitched on a 16 count white Aida, super wrinkly, and I have my February branch done. So yay, really like how this is coming out. March branch is stitched, so now it's just waiting for its leaves. And I do the leaves every Sunday, so I do a whole week's leaves at once. Yeah, I love how I have all this purple down at the end here. Really like the way that's coming out. What do I want to say about this? Oh, one of my subscribers, Margaret, had reached out to me on Instagram Messenger and had asked me if there were 30 leaves on the February branch, because I'm just going to show you. I'm assuming this is what happened. There's some leaves up here. Hold on, let me get out if you have not caught up on your February branch yet, I'm hoping maybe this will be helpful for you. There are not 30 leaves. There's 29 leaves on the February branch in case there's a leap year, which isn't a situation for this year. March. You can see that on the March branch, there's some March leaves that are very close to the February branch, especially over here. I almost stitched those as February leaves. They're very close to the March branch. So just be careful when you're stitching them. There are definitely 29 leaves on the February branch. This year, only stitch 28. Don't stitch the 29th. And there are definitely not 30. Yeah, so hold on, trying to keep it all neat and clean. So I finished that up this past Sunday, and I try to put a length of I'm using Gentle Arts wood trail for the trunk and the branches. And so every Sunday I catch up on my leaves, and then I take out a length of floss of the brown, and I stitch part of the tree. It would be smart if I just stitched the whole tree, but there are other things to stitch and things to do with my time. I love these little cups. They're like the perfect cup size for me. Got a little Coca-Cola going. Okay, and then I got out. I don't have a picture. I'm doing Stitching Book Club Sense and Sensibility. I'm sure you have all seen this. I think I finished this. I filmed on the 15th, and I finished it up that night. So it's been waiting all this time to show you. And so I'm sure most of you have seen part 1 finished. So this is part 1. I'm stitching this on the kit fabric. So it's a 14 count Aida that was dyed by Kristen from Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. She is the genius behind Stitching Book Club. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I really like that. So I am almost finished with the chapters that need to be read. at the beginning of February, at the beginning of book club, I can't remember when this came out. I was reading it like crazy, and then I got distracted by other books. So, part 2 comes out either Saturday or Sunday. The reading discussion for part 1 is on Saturday, and I never remember if the next part comes out on the reading day or the day after. Not the reading day, the discussion day. Yeah, anyway. Really happy with that. It's a fun, fast stitch. And I love her colors. She always has really great colors. I'm going to leave that out because I might talk about that again in a sec when we talk about things I purchased. And then I started the year all like, I'm only going to have so many starts, and I had a plan, and the only stitch along I'm going to do is Stitching Book Club. And then that just went out the window. So I think I showed this I must have showed this last time. I am doing, Cunning Cross Stitch is doing a SAL, and I don't think I have a picture. Hold on. Haha. Of Animal Crossing. Now, I don't understand Animal Crossing. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but my daughter, my eldest child, loves Animal Crossing. So I am doing Animal Crossing for her. And it's, I think it's going to be a 12-month stitch along. So a part comes out, obviously, there's 12 months there. There's spots for 12 things. And I'm umming a lot. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Okay, so back at the end of 2020, I don't know who's the designer behind Cunning Cross Stitch, but they released the frame, which I didn't find out about this till February. Yes, February. And so I didn't get to pre-stitch the frame. So I'm kind of working the frame as I go along. And I think when you saw it last, I had these guys done. This was the January block, the Nooklings. And this was the February block. So the blocks get released on the 15th of every month. So Tom Nook. And then I worked a little bit more. I'd like to get this done. And then I can just focus on the frame. Sorry, I've got a really picky decorative pin stuck in here with the project, and it keeps poking me. So I'm stitching this on 16 count Coastal Ada by Picture This Plus. And this project has so many fractional stitches, which I was doing wrong. So like on my Nooklings, I was not doing the fractional stitches correctly. Sorry, I'm still waiting for floss. I'm missing the floss that goes right there. On Tom Nook, I got a little better at it. I think he looks a little better. The fractional stitches are being done correctly. They were not being done correctly up here in the sign, and frankly, I don't care. I'm not going back and taking it out and redoing them. It's good enough. That's the land I live in. The March block, I believe, is right below the February block. So that'll be the next one that happens. And I think I've got 2 weeks before that comes out. So anyway, if you are planning on stitching this, I highly suggest you do not do it on Ada. I'm kind of regretting my decision. What I've been doing is I take that pokey counting pin, that decorative like pincushion pin, and I'm pre-piercing the center of every square so that my tapestry needle can go through. It's a little time intensive. Oh well, it is what it is. And then I just decided to work on stuff because all of my goals for the month were met. I had my WIPGO goals for February done before I filmed last time, so I could just play around with things I wanted to do. So I took out Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna, and it's a kit. I don't know if you can still get the kit. it couldn't hurt to reach out to them and ask. It's a kit that you get from Nitka Moscow. They're over in Russia. So I reached out to them through Instagram. So if you love this and you want to stitch it, just reach out to them and let them ask if they still have it. I don't know. It's being stitched on a 32 count linen. I think it's a 32 count. It came with the kit. And I worked on branch number 3. Sorry, let me get down there. So I did all of this. I love that squirrel. That is a sassy little squirrel. And a little bunny. This is going to be another bunny up here, but I don't have him done. Some little, I think those are bees. Just started on the bees. Yeah. So on my WIPGO board, I have this like different months, different numbers, sorry. If you don't know what WIPGO is like bingo. Let me see if I've got my... bullet journal on the floor. It's a bingo board. And you put in your project and the goal you want to get on your project. And then every month, Jessie Marie does stuff. She's got a Facebook group for this. And I think I've been linking it every single video in the description box. She calls numbers, and when she calls them, I highlight them in pink. And when I meet the goal, I cross it out. So I have Tree of Magic on there several times, and it's completing branches is my goal. So I figured I'd just get a head start for whenever this gets called. So I worked on that for quite a few days. And then, I feel like I say that a lot. And then I started something new. I'm doing 5 ornaments this year. So I've already finished one. I'm doing an ornament for my 3 kids, and then one for my sister-in-law, and then one for my mother and father-in-law. So I decided to get the one started for my mother and father-in-law, and I am doing Satsuma Street's Santa Nutcracker. I've never done, this is a kit. So you get, it comes with the perforated paper and the floss and the beads and all that stuff. So this was super fast and super fun. I have not done the beading yet, but all of the stitching is done. And I think I might hold off on beading it until closer to when I want to FFO it. I'm just afraid it's going to get all messed up in the little project bag. He's so fun. So you cut out the tree, and then the tree gets attached to him with like a sequin situation. I'm going to do another one of that. Love this. And I feel like it'll be really easy to FFO. Cut it out, put some felt on the back, got a ribbon. It'll be good. It won't be like my ornaments last year, which were tricky business and did not come out the way I would like to. I'm really thinking in the future, I might be sending ornaments that are not like this to a finisher. I've never sent anything to a finisher before. I'm not even sure how like cost prohibitive it'll be, but I'm not a good FFOer. I'm not good. I'm not crafty. I'm not super detail oriented, hence the land of good enough. I don't do it enough to get better at it. I don't know. We'll see. If it's not like too outrageous to have someone finish my ornaments, I might do that. Because 2 of my ornaments will not. I think I'm going to do 3 ornaments that are going to be from Satsuma Street, and then 2 will be more like traditional. I don't know. Okay, and then I got out Seeking Refuge by the Scarlet House. This is on my WIPGO board for a finish. And it is also the WIPGO that got called for March. What did I do with my... So March is WIPGO. Sorry, I probably should be talking about this in plans. I'm all over the place. The numbers for March are 10 and 24. And 10 for me is Seeking Refuge, and it's to finish it. I didn't know this when I worked on it last month. Sorry, I've got like a strap that's not wanting to stay up. Do you guys do this? Like if you can't remember something, or like you were talking and it flies out of your head, I think that's something that starts to happen in your 40s. I touched my nose, like it's the on button, like reset. I'll remember. I don't know. Anyway, when I started working on Seeking Refuge last month, I didn't know it would get called this month, but I did know at some point this year it's going to get called for a finish, and I was a little anxious that I am not going to have enough time to finish it. So I would like to finish it this month. How I'm playing WIPGO is everything has a goal. All my projects that I put on here have goals. And most of the goals are to complete so much of the project. And they're yearly goals. So I can work on them before the month they get called, but I'd like to meet the goal the month it gets called, if that makes sense. If I don't and I have to work on it later in the year, that's fine. But ideally, I can work on something before it gets called. But then when it gets called, I'd like to complete the goal. So now that means I have to complete Scarlet. I don't have to, but I'd like to complete Scarlet House. Seeking Refuge this month. Here is where I'm at. So I worked on it a couple days at the end of February. It's being stitched on 40 count linen from Swagart. I don't know the color. I finished the vine and the border down the bottom. The bottom border is all I have left to do. It's a big border though. That is a lot of stitches. So I finished the vine. I've got to work on the flowers on the vine is the next thing I'm doing. And then I'm going to do that white kind of checkered border on the top. And then it's just fill in. All I have to do is fill in. So, I mean, it will be easy stitching, but it's a lot of stitching. Luckily, I have a whole month, although, as you'll see, I have another start, and it's going to take a bunch of my time. So, I don't know. I feel like March feels a little bit crazy to me right now. We'll talk about it when we talk about plans. Okay, almost to the end of my stitching. We are 22 minutes, that's not bad. And then my friend Steph from Kate's Crafts, Stephanie, is doing a birthday sal for her birthday month, which is March. And she's calling it, Stephanie, it's hashtag monochromatic March sal. I don't know if it has a sal on the end. I'll find out. I'll link it below. And so the idea is to stitch on a monochromatic piece. And so a few of us got together on Sunday to do that together. And I know that Sunday was technically not March, but March 1st was like, I mean, it's a Monday. Nobody's getting together on a Monday to start some stitching together. Anyway, I chose to do a new start. Yeah, it's Hoop There It Is by Heartstring Samplery, and it was Beth Twist's charity chart. So when you purchased it, the money went to something. I think it had something to do with food. I don't remember now because like December feels like 90 years ago. So anyway, here is my start. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to work on this for the rest of the month, but I got a little bit in. I'm doing this on 18 count white Aida. It's the kind that you get from Michael's in a tube. It's still rolly. And I am stitching it with a Silks for You silk that I won from Mary, X-Ray X Stitcher. And I'm thinking this is the second one that Beth Twist has done. The first one I think was called Whip It Good, and which I don't have yet, but I plan on getting. I think I'll try to, if she does more, I'm gonna try to stitch them all in this blue, which is really pretty. I'll show you. I got a whole hank of it from Mary, but I took some off of it and just, I probably won't even need this much, but. So this was one day of stitching. I love that blue on the white. Like, I love this. And it was really fun to stitch. I wish that I had time to work on it some more. Maybe I will, but I probably won't touch it again unless I get Seeking Refuge done. Seeking Refuge is my first priority. Well, it's actually not. It's my fourth priority for March. You'll see. I'm feeling a little bit out of control. Like I've got too much going on. And I know, oh my gosh, I was watching Stephanie's last Flosstube video, and when she was talking about what she has going on for March, I was like, I don't know how you're gonna keep track, but I feel crazy because I've got like 4 or 5 things I've got to get done. And then I did another new start. That's 2 new starts for March, 3 new starts that I didn't plan on doing at all this year. I've decided I'm not doing a spring start because there's too much going on. Okay, so okay. I think it was Helen D showed on Instagram that she was going to be doing a SAL called The Pixels. She wasn't coming up with the SAL, but she had found a SAL. SAL means stitch along. By Pick Stitch. This is Pick Stitch, called The Pixels That Made Us. And this is part 1. And it's going to spell out gamer. And each of the letters will have characters from each, like, different platforms. So the G is for the Nintendo system. I'm not a game. I mean, I do enjoy playing a video game. Really love the Zelda games. Harvest Moon. I love a good Harvest Moon. But I don't consider myself a gamer. My middle guy, on the other hand, is. So I am doing this SAL for him. And it's going to come in 20 parts. And they get released weekly. And the first one came out yesterday. I'm doing it on 14 count white Aida. I'm stitching on a lot of white Aida lately, I feel like. Yeah. And this is where I'm at. Sorry, it's going to be very long. I think it's going to be like 3 feet or something like that. So, I don't know who that guy is, but then we've got Mario and Kirby, and I think that's Mega Man and Link, and then I'm not sure what's starting to happen down here. I know Donkey Kong is supposed to be in this part. Yeah. Anyway, this was one I did actually do quite a bit of stitching this morning. So like a day and a half of stitching for me. I might actually get this first part done tonight, which will make me feel good because it's why I was feeling a little bit crazy. Like now I've got a monthly SAL and a weekly SAL, and then Stitching Book Club, which is like a periodic sort of SAL. There's not always a SAL. Sorry, I don't know how I had this folded. Stitching Book Club comes out, I think, every 3 weeks, but there's space in between each book. Like they're not back to back to back. So it's a little more manageable. So much floss just for the letter G. Wait till you guys see how much. There's so much floss. So much floss. I'm hoping that there isn't a lot of additional floss for the other letters. Like they're all going to be the same sort of amount of floss, maybe. Yeah, so plans. And then we'll talk about things that I've received. For March, I really want to try to stay up with the SALs. So Stitching Book, the Pixels That Made Us comes out weekly. I'm probably going to have this done today, so then I'll have days before the next one comes out. So my plan is to keep up with my SALs, and then in between stitch along releases, I can work on Seeking Refuge. And then if I get Seeking Refuge done, I will work on my monochromatic March piece. Also, I forgot to mention Stitch Asia. Abby Bella Stitch has come up with a hashtag called Stitch Asia. There has been quite a lot of horrible things happening to people of Asian descent honestly, because of COVID and the misinformation that was going around about it. So she just wanted to bring some awareness in our stitching community. I'm not very eloquent. I apologize. Anyway, if you are stitching on something Asian themed or by an Asian designer or on fabric dyed by an Asian designer, or you can apply it pretty broadly, and then you use the hashtag Stitch Asia. I think it's hashtag Stitch Asia. I don't think it's hashtag Stitch Asia Sal. I'll figure it out. It'll be in the description box. I think what I plan on doing is using the Pixels That Made Us for that hashtag, because the G is for Nintendo, and Nintendo is a Japanese company, which is Asian. See, pretty broad there. I thought maybe I am stitching on my New Year New Start was the first in the Songbird series by Cottage Garden Samplings, and the designer for that is also Asian. So I thought I could do that, but then I would be bringing in a project that was not part of March for me. So, but I may still stitch on that if I feel like the Nintendo thing is too broad. Did that make sense? So, Pixels That Made Us comes out weekly. I'm gonna try to keep up with that. The March Square for Animal Crossing comes out mid-March. And then Saturday Stitching Book Club comes out. So those need to be stitched, because I cannot stand getting behind on a stitch along. And then in between those things, I will stitch on Seeking Refuge. Okay. That's it. That was all my stitching. Those were my plans. If I did not make sense, I'm sorry. I feel a little bit nonsensical today. Okay, then I got some things in the mail. I got some Stitchy kindness. I got a very lovely card from Doreen, a very lovely thank you card. Doreen won one of the Prairie Schooler mini charts that I gave away over Flosstube. And on the back of the card, I just wanted, like, that's such a pretty card. And she had a very nice note inside, and it said, card made by Wendy in Neverland, who is a Flosstuber. Who I have not checked out yet, but I plan on it because she makes really great cards. And then Christy from Christy's Corner sent me a lovely gift, and I privately thanked her, but I wanted to publicly thank her because it's like above and beyond. If you guys remember, in my birthday month, we did a birthday sal called the Turkey Baby Birthday Sal, and she is not a cross stitcher, so she designed a turkey, a black work turkey, and she stitched it up, and then she turned it into a pin cushion, and then she made a rope basket. I can't, like, so amazing. I wish that I was this crafty. I just want to show that up close. Like, can you even? That turkey, that's some serious skill. I don't really understand black work. It's sort of mystifying to me. And she sent me this cute little zipper pull. It's like a little sheep. Honestly, he looks like a little Harvest Moon sheep. I love him. Super cute. Thank you, Christy. Also, I think Christy has a tutorial video on her channel on how to make these rope baskets. I'm gonna try to remember to link it in the description box. Because if I'm remembering correctly, and she does, what a great thing to do to make pin cushions, right? You could stick your needle right in the rope basket if you didn't want to stick it in your stitching. Okay, and then I got, sorry, that was backwards, the Jane Austen box from Black Needle Society. Funny story, Lost in Austin is what it was called, Retreat in a Box. I could have sworn I purchased this. I mean, obviously I purchased this. And I knew that they were shipping it soon. I'm like, I haven't gotten a shipping notification. maybe I didn't buy it. And I went back in my emails and I'm like, I can't find my order confirmation for this anywhere. I was 99% sure I had ordered it. And then I was like, maybe I didn't. Maybe I talked myself out of it. And I was so disappointed. I'm like, I'm not getting this box. I now think that something funny was going on with my Gmail. But I could not find an order confirmation for it anywhere. And then I couldn't find, like, I couldn't go, when I tried to go back in like my checking account and see like where I didn't think I bought it. So then when I saw some unboxings for it, I was like, I might as well watch because I didn't buy it. So I totally spoiled it for myself. I totally watched unboxings of this before I received it. And then all of a sudden it was on my doorstep. I'm like, all the surprise was taken out of it for me. That's okay. It was an amazing box. I didn't do an unboxing because at that point it wasn't new for me. But I'll just show you some of the, there actually wasn't so much that I can't show you all of it. There was this amazing tea. I can't not wait to try this. I haven't opened it because I want to show you guys before I opened it, but I really love an Earl Grey. Spearmint and lavender flowers and vanilla. I don't actually know if it's an Earl Grey, but it feels like it might be Earl Grey-ish, although then it would have bergamot. Bergamot? I don't know how to say that. Okay, and oh my gosh, this was the best thing. It came with a teacup that says, but indeed, I would rather have nothing but tea on the inside. Sorry, there's like a super glare and it's like gold and shiny. Super pretty. I'm gonna be all like fancy. Drink my tea. And then this was my one thing, if I could give Black Needle Society some feedback, that I was not too keen on. It came with some soap. Sea Wind, is that what it's called? And at Sea. It is strong. And if you're the kind of person that kind of thing doesn't bother you, then it's no problem. I'm kind of sensitive to really perfumey smells, and this is very strong. When I first opened the box, it's like my whole house smelled like it. So that was I did have a little bit of a heads up from watching people's unboxings that there was some strong smelling soap coming my way. If there was something else in here, and where did it go? Oh, because I put them all in my cute little like notions bag. To the like a little library card on there. And then, oh my gosh, the floss was probably my second favorite thing. We got some Anne's Constancy. I can't say that word. They're all from Forbidden Fiber Co. Catherine's Gothic Inclinations. This one might be my favorite. Oh, I don't know. I love this one too. Lizzie's Laughter. Oh my gosh. That's a really pretty variegated purple. Marianne's Broken Heart. That's really pertinent to the book club now. Fanny's Friendship. And this one's fun too. Emma's Good Intention. I love Emma. That is a really fun. That needs something special. I did want to say, so this is Marianne's Broken Heart, which is Sense and Sensibility. I'm not sure if I shouldn't replace, like this would be a good replace for the DMC 813 and the Stitching Book Club project. And then I could be using Marianne's Broken Heart on my Sense and Sensibility stitch along. You know what? In it goes, going in the project bag. I'm doing it. Decided. So the floss was fun. And then, then we got some lace from Lady Dot Creates, Mrs. Bennett's lace for finishing. There was some really fun, I don't have my glasses on. I forget what this is. Perfume, solid perfume, which I'll be honest, I haven't been able to actually open. I can't get this silly little container open. So I have no idea what it smells like. Ooh, and a really great needle minder. This was a really great needle minder. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna wear it as a pin. I don't have my glasses on, so I cannot tell you what it says. Maybe you can read it. Love that. And lastly, some really fun floss drops and a floss ring. Little characters from the books. That's Harriet. She's always a little homely. Oh, it's Jane Fairfax. Frank Churchill. Actually did. Ooh! Oh my goodness. You guys all gotta look at my ceiling. Are these all, no, that's Emma. There we go, Emma and Mr. Knightley. Oh, I think these are all Emma. Okay, now, oh, and lastly, a really big tote bag with all the Jane Austen books on it, which I'm actually using to house my Pixels That Made Us project because I didn't have a project bag for it and it was a little big. Okay, that's it. Ooh, if I finish up in 4 minutes, I can make it a 45-minute video. All right, I did do a giveaway last time for a tail tucker from It's Charm School, Allison Rosen. And I don't have it with me because I forgot to bring it over here. But Susie Marshall won it. Yay, Susie Marshall. So that'll go out this week. And then I'm going to do another giveaway. To enter the giveaway, you must be 18. You have to have filled out my Google contact form in the description box. I'm not chasing people down for addresses. I've got a bunch of project cards from S4 Designs, and there's no way I'm going to use them all this year. So if you have been wanting to try these out, I'm going to give away 5 of them. So all you have to do is let me know that you'd like a project card. Say, hey Pam, I'd like a project card, and I will enter you to win one. So I'm going to give away 5. Also, do you keep track of this? You can answer this question without entering. Do you track your projects? How do you track your projects? Do you use a card? Do you use software? Do you use a spreadsheet? I'm just curious. I have not always been a project tracker, but I'm trying it this year. Mostly I'm just curious how many days I spend stitching, and it helps to have a place where I can remember the fabric and the name of the project and all that stuff. Oh, speaking of projects, a chart came in the Lost in Austin box by Heartstring Samplery, and it's called Really Friends, a Catherine Moreland sampler. It's not a really great picture. It says, there is nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends. And I believe she based it on, I'll get it out. If you are in the Jane Austen fan club, you may want to know, oh, Northanger Abbey. So Northanger Abbey is not one I'm wicked familiar with. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Giving away some project trackers, and that's all I have. I am really trying to film weekly, so I am hoping that I will see you on Monday. And if not, it's because I'm bad. Not really, probably busy, but yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna start getting rambly. I'm gonna say, stay well, stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you all next week. Happy stitching, everyone.